In this video, I'm going to give you a short review of this interior brush setup that I have. I've been using it in quite a few videos now that I've just recently posted, so I have been getting a lot more questions about this. And it's just the Griot's Garage polisher. This is their first generation polisher, so I did buy this a while back. I think it retails for like $150 now, so not that expensive. Then this brush here, again, bought it a very long time ago. This is a gray soft brush. I think there's like 20-ish buckaroos. And essentially is you just take off the backing plate that comes with it. So for polishing, for paint correction, you have a backing plate, 5-inch, 6-inch, 3-inch possibly, and then I put a 3-inch on here. But you remove the backing plate and then insert the actual soft brush and you're good to go. Now, a question I get asked is, does this fit on every dual action polisher? I'm not sure. I know with the Porter cable it does. The Griot's Garage it does. I think it's just more on the thread size. You just need to make sure it's the right size. I don't know if that information is like readily available. But you can also, if you don't have a, because obviously you need the polisher as well, which is just gonna be like, because this is just 20 bucks, so that's, not a deal breaker. The polisher, 150 bucks, yeah, I mean, if you're just starting off, or if you just want to try it out, that could be a bit expensive. I know Harbor Freight has a polisher for like $50, $60, so you could try it out with that. And see if it works. Again, 50, 60 bucks, that's more acceptable, or at least more affordable than maybe 150 bucks. And don't worry because it's like cheaper or not as expensive as these, because I know plenty of people that use the Harbor Freight polishers for paint correction and they get amazing results. So don't think like, oh, I have to buy like the most expensive thing on this, on the market to try this out. No, this is for interior cleanings. Now there are a lot of drawbacks to this. Well, maybe not that many, but number one, and no specific order, but one of them being that you can primarily work on just flat surfaces and areas that have enough clearance for you to move around with this polisher, because obviously it's bulkier, so you can't just put it straight to the edge of whatever you're cleaning, because you'll start bumping into things. So number one is like, so it still does the job. Like I primarily use this for carpets and for seats, leather seats, cloth seats. That's what I primarily use it for. I don't use it on headliners, on door panels, on dashboards. Too clunky, too many curves for this to really handle. So I primarily use it for seats and floor mats or the carpeting. Because the brushes are soft, I do keep it on setting 6 or 5 when I am using it. I don't put too much down pressure because this isn't the strongest machine out there, so it will bog down. Meaning if I put enough down pressure, this the actual brush itself won't be spinning and it'll just be vibrating in place. So you can't just like, if it was a rotary, if you have a rotary, you can put as much body weight as you want on that thing and it's gonna keep on spinning. With a dual action, you don't have that same, at least with this one, there are a lot stronger dual action out there. Like their second generation polisher is a lot stronger than the first generation. So you do have to be mindful of how much down pressure are you putting. So whatever polisher you're using, whatever dual action machine you're using, make sure you're looking and seeing how much down pressure can I actually put before it starts bogging down and it's actually just vibrating instead of actually agitating the whatever you're cleaning. Now one thing I'm gonna actually buy is a stiffer brush. Now this is rather soft. This is great for leather for sure. This is great for fabrics. But I would want to use a bit stiffer brush, like the upholstery brush that I typically use on door panels. The bristles are much more, I guess you could say, aggressive. So in my opinion, it does give it a better, as far as agitation and aggressiveness, I do want stiffer brushes. So I'm going to buy another set that's a bit stiffer, just to help me clean more if it's really dirty or the material that I'm working on. It'll just help out if you have this one and a stiffer brush. Because again, you're going to run into those interiors where they're a lot dirtier, there's more gunk on them, and it'll just help if you have something a bit more aggressive than these super soft brushes. And this will save you a lot of time and energy, especially because when you're using an upholstery brush, you're literally agitating back and forth for possibly hours depending on the condition of the vehicle and the size of the vehicle. So with this machine here, you just turn the button on and then you just move your arms around and this is doing most of the work for you. You're putting a little bit of down pressure, you're letting it work into the material, you spray enough product, and this takes care of most of the, it just saves you a lot of energy because you're not literally like brushing down repeatedly for hours and hours. Now, do you absolutely need this when you're first starting off? No, I will say no, you don't, because I didn't have a steamer or this little setup that I had when I first started, and I was doing like, I did dozens and dozens of vehicles with neither of these, just literally APC and a brush, and I got amazing results that customers love. So if you're starting off, whether it be personal or business, do you need this setup? No, you can get by with just scrubbing with an upholstery brush and APC. That being said, does this save you a tremendous amount of time and energy? Yes. So if you are picking up a few customers, or if you're doing this and you have, a few personal vehicles that you want to maintain, and you want to save time or energy, or it's just cool to see, yes, this is a very effective tool to use for interiors. And of course, you know, it's a dual purpose. So obviously you can do it for paint correction, for claying if you have a clay disc on it. So you know, you're gonna use it for both instances, interior and exterior. So it's a diverse application that you'll get your money's worth, regardless if this is for personal or for business reasons. Now, be mindful as well on how much product you're using. When you're cleaning cloth seats or synthetic fabric seats, then when you spray the product, whether it be APC or whatever solution you're using, then it's gonna absorb into the cloth, and it's not gonna really sling anywhere, right? It's gonna go into the carpets, and then when you turn it on and you're agitating, it'll foam up a little bit if you really saturate the material. But for the most part, it's not gonna get too crazy. Now, if you're working on leather, the solution doesn't seep into the cloth. It stays on the upper level, on the higher surface. So if you spray enough of it, or even a decent amount, you're gonna get a lot of sling. So don't clean everything in the interior and then touch up the seats with this machine, because you'll literally get sling all over the interior. Instead, start off with the seats, make the mess, and then work around the entire interior, cleaning up the mess that you created from the seats, and then just clean them as they need be, because you're there to clean the interior. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video on this review of the Griot Garage 6-inch polisher. Again, I think it's like 150 bucks. First generation, 20 buckaroos, soft gray brush. I'm gonna get a blue one for more aggressive cleaning on dirtier vehicles. Other than that, leave any comments down below that you have on this little machine here. It's a great investment. I use it on a daily, weekly basis for the past several years now, so it's definitely something I wouldn't want to be without. So